Before computers started deciding how fast a car should be, there was a time when speed depended on the machine and the man behind the wheel. No traction control, no electronics, no safety nets to save you if things went wrong. Just big American engines, raw horsepower, and the kind of courage drivers needed to keep them pointed straight. In this video, we're counting down 10 of the fastest American cars ever built before modern technology changed the game forever. 1969 Pontiac Kuda Judge. Back then, cars like the 1969 Pontiac Kuda Judge weren't just fast, they had personality. Under the hood was a 400 cubic inch Ram Air V8, officially rated around 366 horsepower, but anyone who drove one knew it felt like much more. When you pressed the gas, the power came in hard, and the rear wheels didn't always stay planted. This wasn't a car that corrected your mistakes. If you pushed it too far, it reminded you instantly who was really in control. And that's what made it special. It wasn't just about speed, it was about how it felt. This was the kind of car that demanded respect every time you drove it. Number 9. 1970 Buick GNH Stage 1. The 1970 Buick GNH Stage 1 was one of those cars that shocked people the moment the light turned green. Buick wasn't the brand most people expected to build a monster, but this one changed that. Under the hood sat a massive 455 cubic inch V8. Officially rated at 360 horsepower, with enough torque to make the rear tires fight for grip every time you touched the throttle. What made it unforgettable was how effortless the speed felt. The power came in low and hard, pushing the car forward like a freight train. There were no electronic systems to smooth things out, just raw torque and the driver's ability to keep it straight. This was luxury, mixed with brutal American muscle, and it caught a lot of people off guard. Number 8. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was built in a time when speed came from bold engineering, not computer simulations. With its long aerodynamic nose cone, towering rear wing, and powerful V8 options, this car was designed to slice through the air in a way no other American car had before. The Hemi-powered versions pushed well beyond what most street cars of the era could dream of. What made the Daytona unforgettable was how advanced it felt for its time. On long highways and NASCAR tracks, it could reach speeds close to 200 miles per hour, something almost unimaginable before modern electronics. But despite the wild top speed, controlling it still depended completely on the driver's confidence and nerve. This was old-school American speed engineering at its absolute peak. Number 7. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 was the kind of car that made people stop and stare before they even heard it start. Built so Ford could homologate its NASCAR engine, it carried a massive 429 cubic inch V8 under the hood, officially rated at 375 horsepower, though most enthusiasts knew the real number was higher. What made it so special was the way it delivered power. There was no smooth electronic management, no traction systems, and no driving modes. When you stepped into the throttle, the car answered with raw force, demanding quick reactions and a steady hand. It felt more like a race car wearing a Mustang body than a normal street machine. This was one of those cars that reminded drivers speed used to come from courage, not software. 6. 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda. The 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda was one of those cars that made speed feel personal. Its legendary 426 HEMI V8 delivered around 425 horsepower, and every bit of it went straight to the rear wheels with no electronic help. When you hit the throttle, the car lunged forward with brutal force, demanding instant respect. It wasn't just fast for its time, it felt alive, mechanical, and slightly dangerous. This was the kind of machine that rewarded courage and punished hesitation. Number 5. 1987 Buick GNH. The 1987 Buick GNH proved that by the late 1980s, American speed had found a new kind of brutality. Instead of relying on a massive V8, Buick used a turbocharged V6 that officially produced 276 horsepower, though real performance suggested much more. What shocked people was how quickly it delivered that power. The GNX could launch harder than many V8 muscle cars at the time, and in real-world races it embarrassed machines people thought were untouchable. There was no modern traction control stepping in, just turbo boost hitting hard, and the driver trying to keep the rear tires hooked. What made it unforgettable was the surprise factor. It looked understated, almost calm, until the boost came alive. This was the car that proved old-school American speed was evolving without losing its danger. Number 4, 1969 Camaro Zl1. The 1969 Camaro Zl1 was the kind of car that felt unreal in its time. Under the hood sat an all-aluminum 4T7 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 430 horsepower, though most believed it was much higher. In a lightweight Camaro body, that kind of power turned it into one of the quickest American cars ever built before computers took over. What made it special was how savage the acceleration felt. The engine revved hard, the rear tires struggled for grip, and every launch demanded total focus from the driver. There was no system correcting mistakes, only pure mechanical force. This was the Camaro that blurred the line between street car and race machine. Number 3, 1970 Chevelle SS 4x4 LS6. The 1970 Chevelle SS 4x4 LS6 was pure American brutality. Its 454 cubic inch big block V8 was officially rated at 450 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful muscle cars ever sold to the public. But what drivers remembered most wasn't just the horsepower, it was the torque. The moment you pressed the throttle, the car surged forward with a force that could easily overwhelm the rear tires. There were no electronics to calm it down, no traction systems to keep it straight. It was all on the driver. That's what made the LS6 unforgettable. It didn't just feel fast, it felt dangerous. This was the kind of speed that demanded courage every single time. Number 2, 1966 Ford GT40 Morey II. The 1966 Ford GT40 Morey II represented a different kind of American speed, one built to conquer the world. Powered by a massive 427 cubic inch V8, this machine was designed to win Le Mans, and it did exactly that. Before modern technology, this was as advanced and as fast as American engineering could go. What made it unforgettable was the combination of raw horsepower and fearless design. It could hit incredible speeds for its era, yet every mile depended on the driver's ability to control it. No electronic safety systems, no digital driving aids, just pure engineering and nerves. This was the car that proved American speed could dominate on the world stage. Number 1, 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona HEMI. At number 1 is the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona HEMI, the ultimate symbol of American speed before modern technology changed everything. With its legendary 426 HEMI V8 and radical aerodynamic design, this was one of the first American cars to approach 200 miles per hour. What made it legendary wasn't just the speed itself, but the fact that it achieved it with no electronic systems, no computer controls, and no digital help. Every bit of that performance came from engineering, aerodynamics, and the courage of the driver behind the wheel. Even today, the Daytona feels like a reminder of an era when speed was mechanical, risky, and unforgettable. This was old-school American speed at its absolute peak, and that's what made these cars unforgettable. Before computers, speed depended on engineering, courage, and the driver's right foot. No electronic help, no safety net, just raw American horsepower and pure nerve. Which of these legends would you trust yourself to drive flat out?